We have been writing about families migrating since at least 2014, and we wanted to be able to go to Guatemala, to some of the communities where the families are coming from, and show our readers what are some of the reasons that these families are migrating, mostly parents with their children or unaccompanied minors. We ended up going to the village of Yalambojosh, which is the community where Felipe was from. Felipe is one of the 2 kids who have died recently in custody after crossing the border with their parents. And his funeral was a month ago, and to my surprise, his death had not deterred anyone from migrating. You know, a complex kind of set of reasons why people are fleeing or seeking to leave. In those particular communities where it was because people wanted to give their kids a better education, because they wanted a concrete home, because they wanted to buy a bigger plot of land to grow, you know, coffee or do subsistence farming or make sure their kids had a place to live when they grew. They had given up that Guatemala could provide what they needed to have a dignified way of life. It's a little early to know what that full impact will have, but what I did see is that you do have schools that are losing kids because they're going to the U.S. And a lot of times I was told by teachers, those who stay behind are starting to lose an interest in their education because they figure it's only a matter of time before they migrate. And on the children who stay, you do have more responsibilities once one of the 2 parents leaves, because then that means in the case of if the father is the one who leaves, the mom has to take on more responsibilities, especially initially when you know, while the parent who migrates gets a job and starts sending money back. The pressure of having to go to the U.S., the feeling that you're not going to be able to make anything of yourself unless you migrate. Families start facing this cycle of debt that they accumulate while being in Guatemala, debt that they accumulate after paying smugglers to bring them to the U.S. And if they get deported, you know, they owe $10,000, $12,000, and they make 50 quetzales a day, which is $5 or less. And so they see coming back to the U.S. as the only way that they would ever be able to repay that money. That shows kind of even if people are leaving for economic reasons, kind of the gravity of the situation they're trying to leave behind, and how it gets even more complicated with the issue of debt. When you see all of your neighbors going to the U.S. and building their nice houses and coming back and buying cars and plots of land, I think the pressure becomes very real to follow along. It's not enough to just have national stories about what's going on in other parts of the world. I think we as individuals care more about a topic or a subject when we feel connected to that person or to that issue. And I think when we can connect to what we don't necessarily understand, it might inform us more or bring more understanding.